It's October 5th, 2024. I'm with Mr. John Jeckovich, and we're reading his book, Their Mother's Sons. And we're on page 19, and this chapter 19, we're on page 571, and this chapter is titled Courting Delphine. Delphine Stulak is John Jeckovich's future wife, which they actually had a 69-year marriage. 69-year marriage.
Fun-filled.
Fun-filled marriage, 69 years. So we're reading your book now, Courting Delphine. But before I start, could you give me your dog tag number?
42065.
Okay, that's the opening of the computer to read your mother's book, Their Mother's Sons. And would you like to read some today?
No, go ahead.
Our Mr. Jeckovich was in Company H, 2nd Battalion, 291st Regiment of the 75th Infantry Division of the U.S. Army during World War II. Mr. Jeckovich's division was affectionately referred to as the Diaper Division. Why was that?
They're all 18, 19 years old.
All young kids right out of college.
A combat age.
Yeah. And a lot of those young kids were actually 16. They lied about their age because they wanted to serve their country. Mr. Jeckovich then and now lived by the same motto. Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. Today is a gift. Well, I'll start this book where we have a couple text questions for you. Would you like you feel up to answering any text questions?
Go ahead.
Were you ever on a troop train?
Troop train, yeah.
Tell us about that.
From New York City to Camp Upton.
And how about when you got to Europe? Were you on a troop train there?
No, those all trucks, all 6x6s.
6x6s. And were you ever on a troop ship?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
A stupid limey ship.
Well, I just call it a limey ship.
Greasy food.
Ah, and how was your living quarters?
Stretched out, we had 3 bunks high.
Were you on the top bunk?
No, I was in the middle.
How was the top bunk?
The guy scratched his nose up on the ceiling.
That tight?
Yeah.
That tight. Another transportation question. When you used to visit Renee in Paris, your mode of transportation was a bus, a train, and a taxi. Could you tell us what type of buses they had?
They had those square old-fashioned buses.
Okay. And what type of trains did they have?
Trains?
Yeah.
You see that train that went by? That's a modern day train. These are old trains.
And were they steam or coal?
They were coal.
I see. And then that's the second level of getting to see Renee. The third level is you had to hop in to a taxi. What did the taxis were like in Paris?
Taxis were old-fashioned taxis. Half the seats were all worn out. Running board, you had to jump in the back seat. There's no running board.
Were they large?
No heat.
Were they large or small taxis?
They were small.
I see. Do you remember what make they were?
They were probably a French-made taxi, yeah.
Maybe Citroen?
Yeah.
Yeah? Citroen, small cars, big people. You had to wear your uniform, correct?
Oh, yeah.
What happens if you're out of uniform in Paris?
You're AWOL.
They wouldn't like that.
Yeah.
And the other questions that we have coming in, what do you know about the 101st Division?
101st Airborne?
Yeah, what happened?
Well, they had poor leadership. They didn't have the right information. They got swamped.
And just about every one of them were killed.
Well, not everyone, because some were wounded, some were missing.
But most of them.
But they had heavy casualties, yeah.
Large casualties. Yeah. And then when you got out of the service, what did you do then?
I went to school for a while, then I went to Kimberly-Clark,
Yeah, but what city did you go back to?
Buffalo, Niagara Falls, New York.
Niagara Falls, New York. And that's where you spent the remainder of your life, basically.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I see. And your mother lived in Niagara Falls, New York.
Niagara Falls, yeah.
So did your sister, your brother, one brother,
Well, the other was in California.
yeah, and the other, you had your Aunt Bernice and Uncle Johnny
And Sophie.
and Sophie and Uncle Johnny all lived in Niagara
Yeah,
Falls.
they're all brothers married sisters.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's amazing how when people came from the old country, they all started out in Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
All started out,
Honeymoon city of the world.
honeymoon capital of the world.
Yeah.
Is it still the honeymoon capital of the world? Is it still the honeymoon capital of the world?
I don't think so, no.
So what do you think it is now?
Industrial town.
But what do you think it looks like?
Ragged old industrial
A
town.
ghetto.
Stinks of smoke, stinks of gas, dust.
They went from 60,000 plus population, which classifies for a city status, and now they're under 10,000, which are considered a village.
Yeah.
And that was basically through greedy politicians, incompetent politicians, and politicians with nefarious plans to line their own pockets. You had a beautiful laundromat on 2nd Street and Niagara Street in Niagara Falls, a very thriving business. Who came and put a stop to it?
The convention center.
So the city wanted to put a convention center, remove all the businesses that were
Yeah,
doing,
throw them all out, throw them all out.
throw them out like trash. And then how did the Civic Center finally do?
They didn't do very good.
Yeah, well,
all the monkeying around, they'd thrown everybody up, they didn't do very good. They just
They did good.
They just disturbed everything.
It was a disgusting place. The Civic Center was a flop, and they disturbed many, many small business owners
Yeah.
that were in the place of the Civic Center.
Raise the taxes for people that live in there.
Yeah, well, that's ridiculous. Who do want to live in that ghetto? Those are politicians, I should say, they should be ashamed of themselves.
Well,
But
they're not,
those
they're not.
politicians are sociopaths with no remorse. Sociopaths with no remorse. And now, let's just say, go 2 miles over to Canada, what do we look like?
Going to Canada,
What do we look like in Canada?
100% different.
Beautiful.
Clean streets, clean this. Everything is progressing. Have the industries, solar industries.
It's interesting that Canada, on the Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada, has something that Niagara Falls has not had for 50 or 60 years. There's one type of store that is only in a tourist area, and Niagara Falls, Ontario has wall-to-wall souvenir shops.
Souvenir shop.
You couldn't find a souvenir shop in Niagara Falls?
No, oh yeah, right near 2nd Street. Yeah,
Yeah, but they're all closed.
they were all broken up. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but it used to be wall-to-wall souvenir
Yeah,
shop.
yeah.
Because you need tourists to support a souvenir shop. While Canadian side, to this date, 2024, it's wall-to-wall souvenir shops.
Yeah.
That tells you how the economy's doing. It's bringing in the tourist. Only thing you bring in to Niagara Falls, New York, is the Chinese government bought block after block after block after block, boarded up houses, hundreds at a time, and they fenced in the area. Now
Well, they had
everyone's
great industries in Niagara Falls.
yeah, now everyone's asking, what's China gonna do with all this property bought? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But it's crazy that they even allowed China years ago
Yeah.
to buy all that property. To buy all that property. That's a shame. So, once you courted Delphine, you got married and you lived in Niagara Falls.
Right,
3063 Orleans Avenue, correct?
right.
All right,
Upstairs.
yeah. And your mother was
Downstairs.
Downstairs. That was great. Mr. Jekovich's mother's name was Anna Targus Jeckovich, right?
Right.
Anna Targus Jeckovich. And she was a fine woman. She took care of Mr. Jeckovich quite well and became great friends with his new wife, Delphine Stulack. They would do everything together, shopping, go to Canada. Why'd they go to Canada to buy their meats?
Really?
Why'd they go to Canada to buy their meats?
They thought the meat was better over there.
Was it?
No, same thing. Slipco is a good meat market.
Uh-huh. How do you think the meats are today?
Same thing.
How do you think the bread is today in Florida?
Bread?
Yeah. How
Oh,
do you
what was that bakery?
DiCamello's.
DiCamillo's, yeah.
How'd you like that bread?
Yeah. That was good food. Good bread.
Bread, yeah. How'd you like the Como Italian restaurant?
Well, I went there a couple of times, went to a wedding there once.
How was it?
Well, it's good food, nice setting and everything. People who ran around it are good.
Yeah, that's out of business now.
That's out of business, yeah.
What was Mario's?
Mario was like a magazine distributor, had all kinds of magazines. I used to go after the church, go there and get the Wall Street paper, the magazines, and every magazine in the country.
And every newspaper in the country.
Every newspaper too.
That's gone.
Yeah, that's all gone too.
That's gone. Do you remember Pete's Texaco?
Huh?
Do you remember Pete's Texaco?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then you also plowed for Phil and Buck. You did some residential for them. You did their car wash.
Yeah.
And you plowed. Those were nice people. Those Tagliarinis were nice people.
The two brothers, yeah.
Two brothers. Nice people. Good business people. Oh, yeah. They were nice people. Pete's Texaco. Right there on Pine Avenue. Wow.
Right in the corner.
Yeah. And when you did your newspapers, did you do not only Polish papers, did you do English newspapers to deliver?
My mother got Gina Glasinski, and we got the Gazette and Courier Express.
Having a child take musical lessons back then was a very big thing. Did you take musical lessons?
Yeah, I did.
What'd you take?
The accordion and organ.
Where'd you take your accordion lessons at?
Dr. Velisinski, Portage and Niagara Street.
Was he a good teacher?
He's a good teacher, yes. Pete stunk like hell, though.
His what?
Pete stunk like hell.
You remember that from way back then. Where's your accordion today?
Who knows? Lord knows. That was 125 bass.
So you don't know where your accordion is today?
No.
I just checked the mail, there's no mail.
I used to carry that. I never put it in a wagon, never did.
You carried the accordion. And how far did you have to go?
Well, I went from our home to 2nd Street.
That's a long way to go.
That was almost 2 miles.
That's a long way to go with holding up an accordion. And what other musical lessons did you take?
Well, I taught myself on the organ, and I taught myself on the, what was the other one? Accordion,
On the organ, I think.
what the hell was the other one I had?
Organ?
Organ, yeah.
Piano, maybe?
Banjo?
No banjo. I wanted to take a guitar, but I never got to it.
Piano?
I love piano. I had piano too.
How'd you do?
Well, if I had the music in front of me, I did all right.
Without the music?
Without the music, I was lost. Somebody could play by ear, just by ear. I couldn't do that.
Which instrument did you enjoy the best?
I enjoyed the best probably the organ.
Did your other siblings take musical lessons?
Did I ever take?
Did your other brothers and sisters take?
No. Steve thought he was a great violinist, though.
How was he?
Terrible.
How about your brother Lookie? Did he take music?
Yeah, no interest at all.
Wow. Did your mother and father ever play a musical instrument?
No.
Wow. When you first moved into 3063 Orleans Avenue, there was no such thing as TV, right?
No.
Did you have an actual phone in the house back then?
Now what?
When you first moved in to 3063 Orleans Avenue many decades ago, did you actually have a phone back then or no?
No.
No phone.
No phone. You had to go down to Grand Central Station.
Grand Central Station. And that's how you make your calls.
Yeah.
How did you heat your water when you first moved in for your bathtub?
We had a little stove at the foot of the stairs in the cellar, heated it up for the bathtub and for the laundry.
Okay. That's interesting.
After a while, we put a big tank and hot water heater.
Yeah. And didn't you also run a business from converting to from coal to oil?
Oh yeah, and then to gas.
How did that go?
Gas was the best.
Gas was the best?
Yeah,
Do you have gas at 3063 now?
probably, yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's interesting. But when you moved on 3063, there was no other houses on the street,
It was
correct?
all empty fields. I could sit in the porch and look at the football game at I Park Stadium.
Boy, that must have been interesting. Was there any wildlife?
Wildlife, raccoons, snakes,
How about rabbits?
there was some rabbits there, yeah.
How about deer?
No, deer didn't come in. They're too civil for them.
And how about the creek? Was the creek stocked with fish?
No, the streets were bare streets at once, and then they put tar on it, then they put stone on it, and then when they finally paid some the streets, it was probably 20 years later.
How about Gill Creek? Did it have fish in it?
No, they had fishing, but nobody would eat them.
What kind of fish?
Yeah, the little small piker. If the kids went there, that was a big recreation for the kids.
To go to catch a fish?
Yeah.
I'll be.
I told them, I said, don't eat the damn fish, just put it, throw it back in the creek. They didn't catch very.
Where were you when it was big news when the Japanese bombed Pearl
It was
Harbor?
Sunday afternoon.
Where were you?
I was ice skating on the creek.
And then what'd your mother tell you when she found out about that bombing?
She says, you'll be moving on pretty soon.
Boy, you have a great memory. She
Says,
says
I'll be
you'll be
missing
moving
you.
on.
Huh?
She says you'll be moving on because she knew the
Yeah,
draft is going to take everybody.
yeah.
The draft is going to take everybody. During World War II, there were 16,400,000 young men and women participating in the war. 16,300,000 are dead. Old age, from the war, disease, you name it. We have less than 100,000 left.
Veterans.
Yeah, veterans of World War II. Most of them are in the late 90s, early hundreds. Mr. Jeckovich is knocking on the door of 100. In fact, Mr. Jeckovich's birthday is October 17th. October 17th, Mr. Jeckovich will be 99 years old. He'll be 99 years old. And he's in perfect health. He still reads the newspaper without glasses. He could squeeze your hand and knock you to the ground. Never took a prescription. Never took
Still
a
running.
vitamin.
Still running.
Jogged for 80 years. Jogged for 80 years. And it's just, we call him a super soldier. A super soldier.
No drinking, no smoking.
No drinking, no smoking. He's been beat up, stabbed, shot by a sniper, bombed, shrapnel still in his leg, trench foot, frostbite, you name it. Take a look at him. Take a look at your TV. This guy is tough. This guy is strong. So October 17th, 2024, will be Mr. Jeckovich's 99th birthday. You can text him happy birthday or text him any questions you want, because this is the real deal. These combat vets, there's less than 7,000 of them living. Combat World War II vets. These are the guys with the machine guns, the tanks, the riflemen, the snipers. These guys are what were on the front line. There's less than 7,000 left. We're losing them at a rate of 150 a day, so do the math. Text any questions, and here we go. text Mr. Jeckovich a happy birthday wish if you care to. His number is 407-366-0000. 407-366-0000. And as we say, on the beautiful island of Defusky Island, South Carolina, text Mr. Jeckovich at 407-366-0000. 407-366-0000. Text him at any time you care to, and he will respond to all your text messages. He certainly will. So with any questions also, we get several in a day, and Mr. Jeckovich always responds. Mr. Jeckovich always responds to them. So he won't let you down. He'll respond to all your text messages, and there'll be no troubles there. And so this chapter we're on now is called Courting Delphine.
Yeah.
Courting Delphine, and we're on page 571.
All right.
571, and this is where we begin.
Oh, Delph. Jen.
Dick. It's your Dick.
That's his hat.
So, here
That's
we
his
go.
hat.
Picking up on the reading.
You're welcome.
Picking up on the reading.
Sue. Oh. Close the door.
There's people coming through.
Picking up on the reading, I called her. Just smooth it out with these people coming in. Smooth it
Yeah.
out.
8
Say
minutes
hello
left.
to them.
I will.
I called her the week. Hey, folks, how you doing?
Good, how are
Come
you?
on in. And called her.
Hi.
Are you
Hi.
still
Hi.
Please.
Hi.
Are you a movie star?
Yeah.
I said, yeah.
All right.
Sorry to bother you.
Oh, no worries, no
There's
worries.
no worries.
And explain what he is before we do that reading.
Oh, I will.
Grand Central Station.
That's okay.
He's a World War II vet, so we've been kind of videotaping his stories. He hasn't started talking about it until 2 years ago. And so I was videotaping, and I'm like, why are they trying to figure out?
Where the heck they going?
He was Army.
I think
He was
just
combat.
going, walking around the building.
Yeah, and so, he's been shot through the arm, blown up on his hip.
God bless you. Well, Mr. Jeckovich, you're looking well today.
Oh, great.
I see you got brand new shoes, nice shirt, brand new
Amazon.
pants. Amazon. It sure beats going to the mall.
Yeah.
When was the last time you were at the mall, Mr. Jeckovich?
Last time I went to the mall with Delphine, probably 20 years ago.
And what did you do in
We
the
used to go
mall?
to the mall every weekend.
Every night, just about.
Yeah,
It was a
then
nice,
went to that restaurant in the front.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was a nice
Remember
getaway.
the manager got kicked out of stealing money from the restaurant?
Wait, what happened now?
Oh, he was stealing money from the restaurant.
Oh, yeah, that was Chick-fil-A.
Yeah,
One day he was there, next day he was gone.
yeah.
But you had a nice time visiting. You would sit there and
Oh, yeah.
watch. You would people watch.
Huh?
You'd people watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. What happened one time when you were in the mall and you came out to look for your Toyota Tundra and it was gone? What happened?
My Volkswagen.
No, at the mall. Your Toyota Tundra.
Well, Tom took it, drove it away, the big joker. He made a big joker out of it, yeah.
His grandson, Tom Jeckovich, which was on film 2 or 3 days ago, he told Mr. Jeckovich's Toyota Tundra, this Toyota Tundra, radio was never on in it. The windows should never work. He would never turn on the AC. It was virtually as it came out of the showroom. It was virtually as it came out of the showroom. It was kept up in tip-top condition. And his grandson one time had a tow truck, and just to be a Weisenheimer, he towed it to the other side of the mall.
Yeah, yeah.
So when you came out, what did you say? What did you think?
I said, you wrecked the back of it.
No. When you found out it was gone, without knowing it was a practical joke.
Yeah.
What happened?
I said, you better get the sheriff after it. Yeah, they were smart. I said, yeah.
And how long did it take you to realize that your grandson was pulling a practical joke on you?
Yeah, but they pulled the same thing on the truck. They were supposed to bring the truck down here. Tom sold it up there.
Oh, no.
I never asked him to sell. I said, Tom, drive that truck down here.
Yeah.
And he needed to do that. He sold the damn truck
Oh, boy.
on his own.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but that wasn't your grandson. Tom was your grandson that you worked with all the time in Zellwood, and you'd fly with him, and you did all kinds of nice things with him. And he just went to the mall because he knew you were going to be there, and he used his tow truck to move your Toyota Tundra so that you would get a little response.
Yeah.
What did Delphine say when she realized the truck was gone?
She said, we better get the sheriff after it.
And what would you and Delphine do in the mall?
What would we do? We sat at the shaker buffet.
And you people watched?
Watched the people go by and had a little cup of coffee and stuff.
Mostly coffee.
Yeah.
Wasn't there one couple that you told me about that they go to all sample places like Mr. Dunderbox and places like this?
Yeah.
What happened to them?
They all fell out of business. They were going bankrupt.
Yeah. So the mall is no more, basically.
No.
The
Mall
is
is gone.
Remember the Summit Mall in town?
Oh, yeah. I remember the big mall in Buffalo.
All gone,
3
right?
stories.
All gone. Wow.
Buffalo, yeah, Buffalo.
You had a good time visiting that mall, didn't you?
Yeah.
You had a good time visiting that mall, didn't you?
Yeah, what was that?
I don't know. But you had a good time visiting that mall, didn't you?
Yeah.
Well, before I start reading, Courtney Delphine, you got anything you want to say?
No, go ahead.
I called her the week I was working midnights, and she did say that she missed me, which made me feel good. I told her I would meet her after work that Tuesday. If that was acceptable, and quickly agreed. After I had hung up, I was elated and wanted to drive to Buffalo to see Delphine that moment. I thought better of it as it was late and I was due to go into work. My foolish sense of duty and work ethic would not let me take an extra day off, call in sick like everyone else did at work. I often regretted doing just that because the habit was an obstacle to overcome. How many years did you work at Kimberly-Clark?
35.
And how many days did you miss?
None.
Did your car tires ever make it to the parking lot of Kimberly-Clark?
Never been there.
How'd you get to Kimberly-Clark?
Walked every day.
How'd you get to Kimberly-Clark during a major snowstorm?
Walked every day.
Even during a major snowstorm?
Yeah.
Did you have special winter gear?
No.
How'd you get to Kimberly-Clark during a major rainstorm?
Umbrella.
Wow. So you never missed a day?
And then I took them back after a while. There was some winter time. I took them off shift and on shift. I used to go around and pick the kids up. People working in the factory, they were off shift, and I brought the people coming in for the shift. I used to transfer them back and forth.
Okay, so
because I had a 4-wheel drive.
So let me understand this. During a major blizzard, when nothing was running, you had a 4-wheel drive, 4-door International, and then you would volunteer to go to different places where the employees lived.
No, they asked me for it.
Oh, they asked you to?
Yeah.
And then you would take them to Kimberly.
Yeah.
How long did you have to do that for?
Well, as long as the weather was bad. The weather was bad twice. When the weather was nice, then they didn't call me. But when the weather got bad again, when the people couldn't get in, so could you get back there and get these guys back on shift?
So how many different towns or cities did you have to go to recover these
Well, it was
guys?
mostly winter when the roads were bad, icy and everything else, snow and everything.
So what did you do? Kimberly-Clark gave you a list of names and addresses?
Yeah.
Did you have a map? Because there's no GPSs back then. Did you have a map to find all these addresses?
No.
You knew every...
I probably knew most of the addresses anyway.
Because you lived there all your life.
Yeah.
And were all the workers happy to see you?
Well, yeah, they got a free ride, but if they didn't have the ride, they'd have to find somewhere to get to work, or they wouldn't go in, they called sick.
And they would miss a day, right?
Yeah.
Hey, right? Wow, that was exciting.